Bullfrog Productions presents a very old game from the 90s. This game is fantastic. And our hero enters the dungeon. Oh, the imp flips him off right there. So this may seem like a Diablo type game or a dungeon crawler, but it's actually not. Now, you all may be very familiar with this style of game, or not, and if you're not, then I have a treat for you, because what you're looking at is Dungeon Keeper, and as you're about to see, hero is dead. And another one is ready to try his luck. You see, this is a dungeon management game. It's one of the many games out there where you play the bad guy. And I love to be the bad guy. I absolutely love this game. And it should be said, this is actually not the original version of Dungeon Keeper. The original version of Dungeon Keeper is so old that it just doesn't function anymore. This is a fan-made mod, although from what I understand, it's an entire revamp. They rewrote everything to get the game going again, including the AI of the original game to improve the gameplay. So that the game plays quite a bit like the original did and was supposed to, but that it actually functions on modern computers and doesn't look... I mean, there's a GOG version of the original Dungeon Keeper, which you actually need to play this game, and what I'm playing this mod as part of, but it's bad, and it doesn't work well. Like, I'll show you.
Ever smile. Set in the realm of joy, the people of Eversmile are plagued only by aching facial muscles, and not anthrax as we had hoped. Eversmile is a disgusting land of good humor and polite frivolity.
Okay, so the way this is supposed to function, I can look through this window and look around at the land of joy, or whatever the hell you want to call this. But if you were playing the GOG version, the second that you touched the side of the screen, it would fly over here, and you wouldn't be able to click on anything. It's terrible. But anyway, so this flag right here with the T on it indicates that this is the first of the tutorial levels. And the voice that you heard just now was the voice of Mendikaus, an evil god similar to myself, who the character you play is known simply as Keeper, or the Dungeon Keeper, and he's actually one of many, many Dungeon Keepers, or Underlords, later on in the series. Now, I will be playing Dungeon Keeper 1, 2, and 3, although Dungeon Keeper 3 is actually... Technically, it's a fan-made game, but I consider it Dungeon Keeper 3. It's War for the Overworld, and War for the Overworld is probably, if not my favorite game of all time, then definitely damn close to it. And Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2 are up there too. They're great games. And so Dungeon Keeper, or rather War for the Overworld, continued the lore from Dungeon Keeper, but it did retroactively change a couple of things. So, first of all, you're not going to hear it mentioned in this game, but my understanding is that this land here that is ruled by a hero by the name of the Avatar. And Avatar was actually from the game Ultima. Avatar is a good, like a paladin who works for a powerful, good goddess by the name of Kira, and helps protect this planet, this world, which is called Kairos. And Mendikaus, who is referred to as the I forget what the word they used for it was, but he's like your advisor in this game. And later on, he comes into his own and becomes much more powerful. But right now, what we're doing is building dungeons, raising creatures to fight the good guys that come into your dungeons and try to steal your hard-won treasure. And ultimately, we want to send our creatures up to the surface to take over the surface. And our ultimate goal is to destroy that castle up there on the hill and kill the Avatar. So I'm going to be doing this. The first thing a keeper needs is somewhere to keep gold when it's been mined out of the rock by its imps. To create a treasure room, select the treasure room icon from the room panel and fill the empty area to the west with treasure room tiles. Okay, so I can turn the camera here so that I'm actually facing north. Over here in my room thing, I have treasure room, and I can change the tiles here to lay them out and turn this into a treasure room. Expertly done. Press the right mouse button to turn the pointer back into the hand of evil. Mine out the gold in the east by tagging the area with the left mouse button. Your imps will dig out the gold and carry it back to your treasure room. Now, it might take me a little bit getting used to, because I actually haven't played this game in a while. I'm much more used to playing War for the Overworld, and things have been vastly upgraded since this game came out, and this one is... the controls are much more archaic. But the basic idea here is that you, like I said, you're an evil god. And so your essence is in this structure in your dungeon. It's called the Dungeon Heart or the Dungeon Core. And you have these little homunculus creatures called imps, later on called workers, who do most of the dungeon work for you. They do the digging, the gold gold mining. They eventually, later on in the story, they'll be the ones carrying back the prisoners or dead bodies. They do a lot of stuff. So right now, I'm tagging the gold. I have to do it one block at a time, which is a pain in the ass. If you want to make your creatures work harder, slap them by right-clicking the Hand of Evil on them. Slapping will harm your creatures. Absolutely do it. You are an evil god. Don't be afraid to play the role and mistreat your creatures. They will work harder and faster when you slap them. Plus, imps are replaceable. Use the left mouse button to pluck your creatures from the dungeon. Use the right mouse button to drop them over a room or tile belonging to your dungeon. Creatures perform the tasks most relevant to the situation they're dropped into. Alright, yeah, so you have the ability to literally pick up a creature.
You have tunneled into a new area.
Oh, okay. Pick up a creature, like so. Oink. And teleport them to a different location in the dungeon. Greedily done. Now you need to turn some of your dungeon into a lair. Lairs are where creatures rest and recover. The area your imps just mined out would be an ideal spot for some creatures to lurk. Select the lair icon from the rooms panel. Okay. Go ahead and turn this into a lair. Dig a tunnel that connects to the portal to the north. Portals appear on the map as flashing squares until they are claimed. Creatures only use portals claimed by a keeper. Your amps claim a portal, and as soon as it connects to your dungeon. Alright, so a lair is a room where creatures can build their individual beds so that they have a place to recover their hit points. And these portals, you can see there's a rainbow-colored thing around it. That means nobody owns it yet. If I was playing multiplayer, anybody could claim it. If it's mine, it'll become red because that's my player character. My character's color. As you'll see in just a second. They're claiming ground for me, and now they're going to come up here and claim this room.
An entrance has been claimed.
Bam! There it is. Now, once you have a portal, creatures that are drawn to certain things will come in through the portal and into the dungeon. And there we go, our first minion has arrived. It's a giant fly. It can spit corrosive vomit at your enemies, and its wings grant the hideous insect the speed to intercept the most nimble trespassers. And I didn't see him do it, but he actually already built a lair. A beetle has scuttled into your realm. It's tough enough to absorb a lot of damage. Like most creatures, beetles require food. Dig out a new area and select the hatchery icon and create your hatchery. Tasty snacks will soon emerge from its enchanted soil. And there you go, you saw the beetle there create his lair, and he's taking a nap. So, I'm going to go ahead and make a 3x3 room and turn it into a hatchery. I've got another beetle. Now, most creatures are going to need at least three things. They need to get paid, they need sleep, and they need a place to eat. Now, I say most creatures because there are creatures that actually break these rules, as we'll go over them later. Imps fortify your walls to prevent intruders tunneling in. If you want to create more imps, go to the research panel. Select the imp icon, left-click anywhere in your dungeon. Each imp you create costs more than the previous one. So the imp spell, you'll see as I cast it, it goes up in cost each time I cast it. But I just created 3 more imps there. And they handle this differently later on in the series, because in the first game, you don't have mana. You simply use gold for everything. Why not have a handful of creatures ready to drop on top of your... What did that say? Intruders approach. They seek gas from your fortifications in order to gain entry to your dungeon. A white trail on the map indicates their progress. Click the icon on the top of the control panel to see a bigger map. Top of the control panel? Wait. Click the icon. Oh, this one. Okay, so, yeah, so these white... And you can actually hear them behind the walls. Now, in the first game, the walls are completely... they're digging behind my walls, but they can't get through fortified walls. But once they come around here to the water side, they'll be able to get through. Now, real quick, before I have to deal with any bad guys, good guys, whatever you want to call them, I'll show you something else. There's a spell here called Possess Creature, and this is one of my favorite parts of the game. Once you possess a creature, and right now I have an imp, you're actually in first-person mode, and the game becomes a first-person shooter, essentially, or a first-person action game. When you possess a creature, it becomes stronger and faster than other creatures of that same type. So you can actually use this in order to fight the creatures on your side. Now, in the first game, I gotta remember exactly how it works. I think you have to use a barracks in order to put a group of creatures together. I'm gonna look into it as we play. But, yeah, so let me hop out of this imp. I'm just gonna keep an eye on these.
Your creatures are under attack.
Here we go. Okay. So, we're going to want to go ahead and grab our creatures.
Your creatures are falling in battle.
And teleport them all over here.
Your creatures are falling in battle. Your minions are winning a battle. Your creatures are attacking the enemy. Your creatures are falling in battle.
These little flowers
Creatures are under attack.
over the creatures' heads are
Your
their
minions are winning a battle.
grab some of this gold here. Throw it right into my treasure room. Their life. Like you can see, he's level 1, and he has a decent amount of life. If your creatures die, they just get replaced by new creatures that come in out of the lairs. Savor your first victory while you can. You've attracted the wrath of the Lord of the Realm. His party will soon be here. Yeah, so each level has a Lord of the Realm, which is a knight. They're very powerful. They're the most powerful. They're the most powerful good characters in the game. But the early ones are very low level. I think the one that's coming after me here is actually a level 1, so it's really nothing to worry about. Now, as you can see, this fly is flying around, just exploring. And that's what flies are good at. Flies are fast-moving, they're weak, but they're quick, and they fly.
Beware, the Lord of the Land approaches.
They can go right over water.
Back to the pits, foul one.
Yeah, right.
Your creatures are under attack.
Really? Was he fighting my fly? Ah, up here. Here we go. There he is. Okay, so I can't teleport my guys directly here because I don't own this land. But I'm actually going to grab the flies, get them out of there, and let him get closer so that I can control how this goes down. So now I have them in my hand, ready to teleport. They're like in transition. Okay, here he comes. Let me grab my rest of my guys here. What level is he? Level 1, yeah.
Your creatures are attacking the enemy. Your creatures are falling in battle. Your minions are winning a battle.
And they
You
kicked
have
his ass.
conquered this realm.
Alright, so I won. Your work here is done. Now there's no one to prevent you from obliterating this nauseating realm and expanding your empire into the neighboring land. Success. The land is yours. Press space to proceed to the next realm. So, I could move on if I wanted to, but I do want to show you another couple of things here real quick. And that's that if I were to cast this on one of these critters here. So now I'm a bug. And each of the bugs, not just the bugs, each of the different creatures sees a little bit differently, which I thought was a neat touch. And so you get this kind of fish-eyed effect when you're a beetle. And if I were to take a fly, where is a fly? Okay. If I were to take over a fly... Oh, man. These controls suck. Ah! Alright, come on. You get this, like, compound eye thing, which is pretty cool. But as you can see, I can go up and down, which it's a lot of fun to fly around as a fly. It's really cool. Also, one more thing. If we look over here, where the... Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, there's usually a portal that the good guys use to get down here, but I don't see one here. But basically, when humans come down from the surface, they use these like town portals to get down here. I'll show you later. But for now, that's going to do it. So let's see what Mendichouse has to say.
Branahawk. War and anthrax have taken to this land like fleas to a rat. The region is, thanks to your unstinting efforts, now a major eyesore.
So that's going to do it for today. Please like and subscribe. And so actually, real quick, I'm going to do, what I'm planning on doing with this is I'm going to do one level at a time instead of saying an hour or whatever. If a level takes a really long time, like 2 or 3 hours or something, I'll probably break the video up into smaller videos. But for quicker videos, I'll just do one at a time. And I'm going to be making my way through Dungeon Keeper and the Deeper Dungeons add-on, as well as Dungeon Keeper 2, and then eventually we'll make our way into War for the Overworld, which is an absolutely amazing game. And this is going to be sort of a walkthrough, or just let's play thing. Like if you need help with a certain level, you can refer to these videos. But hopefully I'll be able to garner enough attention where, like, maybe I can get some multiplayer games in War for the Overworld with some of my friends or some people online, if somebody out there is interested in playing and has some experience in that game. But yeah, so I hope you like this new series. Please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.